Sneaker of the year. Now, we're not actually discussing what I think is the sneaker of the year right now. As it stands in 2025, we're heading into September, so we still have months and months to go, right? We can say that we still have months and months to go. So I do my best to refrain from deciding, figuring out what's going to be my personal sneaker of the year until we get much later on in the year. I will say 2025 is, it feels like a daunting task, at least to me. I know for everyone else, they already decided on their sneaker of the year long before we've gotten to this point, right? And 9 times out of 10, it's a Jordan Retro that they have at the top. It's probably one of two collaborations, or the Black Metallic 5, or the 85 Bread 1. Although it does feel like people have just forgotten about that sneaker now that we are farther along into the year. But I might approach this a little differently. I just wanted to kind of share that with you all because I know quite often we're just thinking of the best sneakers to drop, right, in 2025. But sneakers, it's subjective. Just like everything in fashion is subjective. These lists will be subjective, except we all collectively get together to usually drag complex when it comes to their list. But your list is subjective. Every time I do a list, I have to add so many disclaimers. So I know I'm not doing myself any favors by maybe exploring this approach. I'm not. Like, I'm sure I'm going to just want to put my phone down, not look at the comments, but I'm contemplating something different based on what Jeff Staple recently said in relation to sneaker of the year so far. Right now, and then also in a more recent post, he said, hey, when Complex asked for my sneaker of the year so far, I chose two that have really stood out to me this year: the Nike Ava Rover and the Adidas Evo SL. Both in line, both built for everyone. He said, inline product is the foundation of sneaker culture. Collab should add to that foundation, not try to be the foundation itself. So far for him, he said, hey, the Ava Rover, which is by Nike, or the Adidas Evo SL, both general release inline pairs that you can pick up at your, just literally at your leisure. And I've seen this conversation over and over and over again. It continues to pop up, that the question of, is 2025 the best year for sneakers, or is this the best year we've ever seen in sneakers? And I think you kind of need context of that. Like, you need someone that's been in it for some length of time to be able to judge that. Someone who hasn't been interested in sneakers or collecting, at least I think for a decade, like, they wouldn't have kind of the context to know, like, what are we comparing 2025 to? But I saw a really good challenge to that. Are we judging the best year on actual new releases for that year, or are we basing it on adding in retros, right? Pairs that are coming back. So what I'm thinking of, haven't made a final decision, but I'm thinking about having my 2025 list be based on, if it's a collaboration, it needs to be a brand new collaboration, not a retro that we're seeing come back. So, for example, the Brick by Brick Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4, that would qualify for consideration. The same way I guess we could, say the Pharrell Jellyfish with Adidas would qualify as well. Very similar to, you guys just saw, maybe you didn't, but I have a video up now for the Jeff Staple and Brooks Adrenaline GTS4. Appreciate the love on that video if you watched it. That would qualify. But, and this is where I'm going to have people thinking that I have, like, threatened their firstborn child. That would mean that the Air Jordan 4 Undefeated doesn't qualify. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, to my credit, the list would be different, right? It would be different. And this is, I know that creators are going to be judged on the fact that there are going to be only so few combinations that you see at the very top. A lot of creators are going to have the exact same pairs at the top for their sneaker of the year. And if you deviate from that, people are going to flame you in the comment section, but they're also going to flame you that all of these creators all have like a hive mind and they're all just putting the exact same pairs. Right, at number 1, I chose to put a performance pair last year in the AE1, and because other people did it, right, we saw the feedback that people were like, oh my god, is the AE1 a plant? Like, why is everybody bigging it up? I may very well have a performance sneaker as my sneaker of the year this year in 2025 too. And like, I could promise you no one else would likely have that. I just don't see it happening. So I am contemplating doing that. So if it's a collaboration, it needs to be a brand new collaboration we have not seen before. If it's an inline pair, it can't be a retro. So that would remove like the Tokyo 5. That would remove the Black Metallic 5. It's a lot of fives in 2025. It would remove those two. And I understand the significance of the Black Metallic 5 in this year of sneakers. I do understand it. Somebody made a really great comment because I said like pre-orders, I don't know that they would work. And somebody said, TJ, maybe it's the context of what is the sneaker that they're trying to pre-order. Because if Jordan Brand were to offer pre-orders for a Black Metallic 5, people would have no issue with the weight. And I believe that. So many people have continued to take L's on these very limited restocks that we're seeing. And so I think, you know, he very, very much so correct there. I like appreciate that added context there. That I think it is maybe very dependent on the shoe. So like generally, no, I think people would be too impatient. With this one though, all the patience in the world. The patience of Job, as one of you said. They would have the patience of Job. So that's where that's where I'm thinking about heading for the sneaker of the year conversation. At least just for myself. I know everyone's criteria can be different, so please like go ahead and comment below when you think of sneaker of the year. What is it? Is it based on? Because some people have. They have restrictions where they have to have touched the sneaker. Like the sneaker has to have been in their hand or in their collection for them to have, you know, have that shoe into consideration. But we know I'm not touching that many shoes, okay? Like I'm not. Like I admire us seeing this the Nike Air Max 1000, which I'm desperately going to try to hit for some. I probably won't, but I'm going to try and then I'll let you guys know how that goes. But that's new, like truly not new in terms of 3D, right? Adidas has done that, but new in terms of it's brand new, right? Really to the market. So, I'm thinking about that because I don't have the restriction in terms of like I need to have touched the shoe. There are going to be millions of shoes that I'd never ever get my hands on and may not see in person. And I'm okay with that. I don't think it takes away from the fact that I can still have a thought, an opinion on the shoe. That is the reason why you have, you know, trusted creators where you value their feedback. You value what they're seeing, what they're feeling on foot in person. And then that helps you figure out where you think that sneaker stands in the grand scheme of the year itself. So please just share your thoughts below. Have you ever thought of a sneaker have you ever thought of a year being so great and what makes it great are the new pairs, right? The new silhouettes. What's new in that year? Because is it really that year that's great, or is it the fact that like you had so many things simply return in 2025? That's not necessarily saying those pairs came from 2025, if that makes sense. So please share your thoughts below. Really appreciate you chiming in. And by the time this video is up, my video will also be uploaded for the John Geiger 004 Year of the Snake that he sent over. Beyond happy to have that. Thank you for watching. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.